Hey, what's up guys? So I just finished reading this article by the Washington Post that specifically names McDonald's and Subway franchises. And I thought I have to make a video about this because this is something that you guys need to know about. It's important, so let's jump in. Okay, so this article from the Washington Post states, franchisees of Subway, McDonald's, hotel chains, auto dealerships, and other big businesses received a total of $15.6 billion from the government's emergency coronavirus loan programs for small businesses, according to the data released by the Small Business Administration, otherwise known as the SBA. Now, if you're new here, my name is Tariq Johnson. I built a multi-million-dollar franchise business with locations in California and Florida, and I talk all about how to build wealth as a small business owner and as a franchise owner. So if you get some value out of this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on some of my other future videos. Also, drop me a comment and tell me what you think about this video because it's a little bit of a controversial topic. I'm going to share my opinion and my perspective on the fact that some of these huge brand names have received money from the PPP program. Also, make sure to like the video. So if you hit the little like button below, that actually helps the YouTube algorithm show this video to more and more and more people because the YouTube algorithm just likes when people like and place comments on the video. So the more you engage, the better it is for us all, the more videos I put out, and it benefits everyone. All right, so this is a really great article. I really enjoyed reading this article. I'll leave a link in the description below, so if you'd like to check the article out and read it yourself, then go ahead and do that. A lot of it, the meat and potatoes of it, I'm gonna share and go over in this video. So the article goes on to say that 4,278 Subways, 2,445 Dunkin' Donuts, and 2,217 McDonald's received PPP funds, and among that, auto dealerships, 1,478 General Motors, and then 1,115 Ford dealerships received some of the government's PPP funds. And in total, 75,746 franchise businesses that receive loans, accounting for about only 1.5% of the 5.2 million loans that were issued, and the $15.6 billion represents only 3% of the $522 billion that was given out. So here's what the article is doing. I mean, I think hopefully you're catching on to where I'm going with this video, is that the point of this Washington Post article was to grab people's attention and go, what? McDonald's, Subway, Dunkin' Donuts, they're taking some of this PPP money? I can't believe them. These huge businesses? But hold on a second. And the article does a really good job of explaining this, which, as an example, the article goes on to say that all of the 20,000 plus Subway franchises that are in the United States, they are all independently owned and operated. So what does that mean? I know Subway is a huge brand and you're used to seeing Subway everywhere that you go. And although Subway is a huge corporation and they used to have Jared before all that crazy controversy happened with Jared and he went rogue, and they advertise all over the place, all of Subway's United States locations are independently owned and operated. They're owned by people like you, people like me, people like your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your uncle. They're all independently owned and operated. McDonald's franchises, 95% of the McDonald's locations in the United States are independently owned and operated. So McDonald's is a huge brand. We see them everywhere. We see that they're publicly traded on the stock market. But 95% of their locations, so about every 9 out of 10 locations you see, they're owned by individuals or they're franchise locations. Now, that doesn't mean that the McDonald's franchise locations aren't owned by, let's say, a big private equity group who owns 100, 200, 1,000 McDonald's locations. That is certainly possible. Out of the 14,000 McDonald's franchise locations as of 2018, that means that over 13,300 were owned by franchisees and 700 of them were owned by corporate. So that's not a lot. And so why are these numbers important? Like, why am I making a video on this, and why do you need to stick around so that you have a firm understanding of what this means? Here's why. The foundation of the United States economy depends on small business owners. And a significant amount of those small business owners are franchise owners. So according to some franchise data from the 2012 economic census, it revealed the estimated 122,000 franchise restaurants make up over 54% of all fast food restaurants in the entire US. So that means, this is what that means. Every 1 out of 2 fast food restaurants that you see are a franchise, and they're a franchise location. Isn't that crazy? And outside of 1 out of 2 of those fast food businesses being franchises, it represents over 70% of the sales from fast food restaurants and about 73% of employment from fast food restaurants. So it basically comes down to this. If small businesses fail, and if franchise businesses fail specifically, then we will have a complete economic collapse. If what happened in 2008 with mortgages happens in the franchise business and the small business sector, the American economy, we're going to have a recession or depression like we've never seen before. And I know that that sounds really dramatic and extreme, but it's true. Look at all of that data. So this is why when you see numbers about all of these PPP loans that were given out to all of these franchise businesses that are independently owned and operated, this is important. These businesses need this lifeline in order to continue to succeed. And as an example, think about all of the money that gets circulated into our economy and put into our economy because of a small business, like a franchise. So let's take a food franchise as an example. A food franchise pays rent to a landlord. That landlord then employs other people. So they're employing other people that are paying taxes. They're going out and spending money in the economy. That landlord likely has a loan to have built out their shopping center that the franchise is renting in. That food franchise pays state and local sales tax. So those state and local sales tax, one, pays to employ people that work for the local government, the state government. It also pays for our roads, our firefighters, our police officers. It works to fund schools. A food franchise pays their food distributor, who actually delivers the food to the business. That food distributor is employing other people that are driving trucks, that are working in the warehouses, that are selling the food distribution services. Those guys that are driving the trucks for the food distributors are buying gas. They're having to have the truck's maintenance. They're buying parts for it. And then that food distributor is having to buy their product from a bigger food wholesaler or a manufacturer. And then the food franchise itself, so that Subway, that McDonald's, that KFC, that Dunkin' Donuts, they're employing people on the front lines. So people like you, people like me, like your brothers and sisters, your mom, your cousins, right? And although some of those businesses may employ younger people that may be still living with their parents, but guess what happens? Those younger people that may still be in high school or college, they get their paychecks, they pay for their car loan, they may pay their parents' rent, they may be living on their own, paying their own rent. They're going out buying an iPhone, they're buying food, they're spending money on concerts, they're circulating money in the economy. So all of those things that I just listed are dependent upon that business being in existence. And so all of this money, that $15.6 billion that went out to some of these franchise companies, this is helping to keep our economy going. So what's my point? My point is that for the United States economy to survive, for the United States economy to get through this crisis and what we've been dealing with, franchise businesses have to survive. Small businesses have to survive. And in order for a lot of those franchise businesses and small businesses to survive, they get the PPP money. They get this money from the government that helps these businesses keep going. I mean, think of this. And it doesn't matter whether you are a Democrat or Republican. It does not matter where you lean politically, because small business owners are on both sides of the aisle. So this affects everyone, right? And the big corporations that got bailouts in 2008, these are the American people getting bailouts. And this is what's important. These are the individuals that have to get the help and support so that they can stay in business. And someone might argue, well, let's just let the businesses fail. If they don't have the money, they don't have the money. Look, I get that perspective. I understand it. But things will get much, much worse before they would get better. And sure, if you just let systems unorganize naturally, like systems may do, well, we would be in for a lot of pain if that's the case. So here's my pitch to you. If you have ever thought about becoming a small business owner, if you've ever thought about becoming a franchise owner, now is the time. Now is actually one of the best times to start a business. I actually made another video about this a few months ago when everything was going on with the pandemic, and if it was the right time to start a business. And I'll leave a link somewhere up above here on that video and what my answer and my research into that was and what my logic and reasoning was. But I'm giving you the answer now in this video, which is start a business. Now's a great time to start a business. Applications for EIN numbers, employment identification numbers, which are basically like your social security number for your business, are up over 20% from the same time in 2019 and 2020. They were up 20%. So people are getting laid off, or they're getting sick of working for people, and they're going, you know what? I'm gonna start a business, which is great, because that is what's gonna help to keep our economy and small businesses moving forward. So as an example, my wife and I, the very first franchise location that we opened, it took us $300,000 to get that franchise location opened. The great news for you is that you don't need $300,000 to start a business. You can open a business for just a few $100s in capital. I mean, depending upon what your business is, like let's say you love animals. So let's say, for example, you love animals. I just got off of a coaching call with a client who wants to start a dog daycare franchise. She was specifically looking at a pretty big brand that it takes about $700,000 to $1.5 million to get this location open. And for her and her husband, they're in a pretty strong financial situation. So it sounds like between putting some money down and getting a business loan, they would be able to get it open. But for you, you don't have to have a lot of money in order to do that. Let's say you love animals. You can start a dog walking business or a pet sitting business right now for free. You don't even need any money. You can just create a post on social media or hand out some flyers or go knock on some doors, right? In order to start a small business, it doesn't take a lot of money. Yes. Will you need some money to open up your business? Probably. But it's more about your resourcefulness and how you go out there and start your business. And so if you want to learn how to create a profitable business, after my wife and I opened our business and invested $300,000 to do it, we got that business profitable within 2 months. We did over $30,000 in sales our second month in business. So what I did was, I love helping people, which is why I make these YouTube videos. I wrote out a 23-page ebook on exactly step-by-step how I did it and how you can do it, how you can create a profitable business within 2 months. And so make sure you go to my website, tariqjohnson.com, and you can download that for free. I'll leave a link in the comments below. I'll leave a link in the description below. But make sure you go get this free guide. It's called my 7-Step Blueprint to Business Profits in 60 Days. It's a game changer. It'll walk you through step by step what you need to do in order to be successful in business. And keep in mind that so many great small businesses were started during recessions or during challenging economic times. Businesses like Netflix, Airbnb, Trader Joe's, Microsoft. So could you be the next Microsoft? Could you be the next Trader Joe's? Could you be the next Airbnb? Why not? If you got some value out of this video, please make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button below. Drop me a comment and tell me what your thoughts and opinions are on this article. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's great that these businesses have gotten the PPP loan so they can continue to survive and continue to operate, or do you disagree? Also, if you can support your local small businesses, do it. It's so important now than ever to support your local small businesses. So make sure, go spend your money at your local small businesses. When you're supporting your local small businesses, even if it's a big brand name, if you know that it's independently owned and operated, you're helping that small business owner pay for college for their kid, pay for basketball lessons and sport lessons or band lessons, and put food on the table and help them save for retirement, and you're helping your local community. So make sure to support your local small business owner. If you're interested in business, you want to build wealth in business, make sure, again, that you subscribe. I have a ton of videos on franchising specifically. I'm going to be creating more and more videos on small business ownership, how to fund your business, how to run a business, how to start a business, profitable business ideas. So make sure you stick around, and I'll see you on the next one.